an extortion on the motorists.
The Ulez is for everyone. Everyone benefits from cleaner air.
I think it's a load of this clear air zone.
It's a money grab, nothing more, nothing less.
Ultra-low emission zones. Love them or hate them, it seems like suddenly everyone is talking about them.
See, we mentioned Ulez.
The ultra-low emission zone.
The idea behind the zones is to improve air quality in cities through a daily charge on the drivers of the most polluting vehicles. But what was once a charge for entering the most central urban locations is being introduced to more and more areas. And London's Ulez expansion to include 5 million more people has already been blamed for Labour's by-election defeat in Uxbridge.
I don't think there's any doubt that Ulez was the reason that we lost.
With politicians from both sides softening their stance, and with open contempt for the schemes in some areas, what is the future for Ulez and clean air zones, and for Britain's lungs? Wallington in Sutton is part of London's Ulez expansion, which comes into force at the end of August, and some locals are not happy about it.
Stop the Ulez! Get Khan out!
This protest is one of several being held around London after last week's High Court decision that the Ulez expansion is legal and will now go ahead as planned.
We need to save our country from dystopia.
The Labour Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has become the poster boy for Ulez. But as he doubles down on the policy, the party's national leader, Keir Starmer, has taken a step back over fears of losing London voters.
I'll never vote Labour after this. Never ever. All the Lib Dems, they're just as bad, all the Greens.
But to other protesters, Ulez is nothing to do with politics.
So I do have a car, yes. It means freedom, basically. It is my legs, that's what it is, because I cannot walk, I cannot cycle. Disabled people like myself live a difficult existence as it is. It's almost like they're trying to make it that much harder for us. Why are they doing that? I thought it was all about inclusivity. Well, this is anything but, isn't it, really? We all want clean air, but there's ways of dealing with it. This isn't it.
I have actually upgraded my van, but it's cost me, and of course I'm in debt for the next 5 years due to it. I was hoping to be able to retire, but obviously I can't now because I'm going to have to pay the loan off.
I'm semi-retired. I still have to work part-time in this cost of living crisis. £12.50 is going to be a killer to me.
Sadiq Khan says he's listening to the concerns and has announced an expansion of the scrappage scheme in London.
There's still £6 million left in the scrappage scheme. I'm announcing today a further £50 million, but also announcing today that every single Londoner who's got a non-compliant vehicle will receive support.
That is awesome, man. And you are ruling. That is brilliant. That's a proper Harley Davidson, that is.
Motoring YouTuber Shazad Sheikh, who calls himself the Brown Car Guy, has attended anti-Ulez protests all over London. To him, his car is more than an object. And the Ulez expansion is part of a wider trend that is putting what it means to be a motorist at risk.
A lot of us car people relate to those cars. You know, they become our friends, they become our companions, they become our confidants. You know, they become the things that we obsess over. I spend most weekends cleaning my cars, and it's kind of callous and cruel when you tell people, oh, just scrap your car, or just sell your car, or just get another car. People are in anguish about having to get rid of their pride and joys. And very soon it feels like we're not going to be able to drive and enjoy our cars the way that we currently are. And I think that to an extent it feels like there's a little bit of a war on motorists going on right now.
But elsewhere in outer London, the Ulez expansion couldn't come soon enough for some campaigners.
Where it is going to make a difference is busy roads like this, and this road has my son's school on it, 2 primary schools and a secondary school.
Rosie lives near Main Road in Ealing, and her 5-year-old son has been frequently hospitalised with severe asthma.
He's needed to be rushed to A&E 27 times because he can't breathe properly. He's had to be rushed to resus, and it's been really critical. And we know that his asthma is made worse by air pollution, we've been told by the doctors. And you just sort of feel slightly helpless, really, and a bad parent, I guess. He's so little, and it's so frightening for him, and it's such a basic right to be able to breathe properly, and he's not able to do that.
London's Ulez has been making all the headlines recently. But in England, the controversy is nationwide. There are also clean air zones in Portsmouth, Bath, Bristol, Birmingham, Sheffield and Tyneside. Manchester was all set to roll out its own CAS last year, but it's been placed under review after a huge backlash. And in Bradford, where the zone only affects commercial vehicles, many taxi drivers believe they are being unfairly impacted.
I think it's a load of what's going on with Bradford Council and its clear air zone. It's out of order. Basically, £13 putting in their pocket before we start. You know, it's a cost of living. It's very hard out here for us taxi drivers.
Technically, it's a good idea because we need to protect the environment. But I think the way it was implemented, they gave us very short time to change our cars.
Whenever you visit a clean air zone, it isn't hard to find strong opinions on either side of the fence. But amid all the firmly held beliefs, it's easy to lose sight of the science that oppose these measures.
We've seen that if you implement clean air zones, it dramatically reduces the air pollution.
Dr. Catherine Hickman is a GP and the respiratory lead for West Yorkshire.
As we've seen in Bradford, they are inextricably linked, high air pollution and higher levels of A&E attendances and or GP appointments.
For now, London's expansion is still coming on the 29th of August, leaving around 700,000 cars in the city non-compliant. So as the next election looms, what does Ulez mean for the green policies of both major parties? And what next for Britain's toxic air?